In our previous videos, we created our capacity plan, added our teams, defined their capacity, added the features we wanted to plan, we assigned and allocated those features to our teams, and adjusted the work in our plan to fit within the capacity of each team. Because we're still refining our plan, you can see that it's still in a draft state. But now, our plan is pretty much done, and we're ready to publish our plan. So what does that mean? The primary purpose of publishing a plan is to make it visible to non-planners. Remember that only users that are designated as planners by a workspace or subscription admin can see and edit a plan in draft mode. Publishing a plan makes it visible to all users with view access for the project where the plan was created. One important point: you do not have to wait until your plan is final to publish it. You can and should publish the plan regularly throughout the planning process so that non-planners can review the plan and provide feedback. You can unpublish a plan at any time during the planning process to make additional changes. So how do we publish a plan? We do this from the action menu at the top of the page. And this menu lets us edit the main attributes of the plan, create a copy of the plan, delete it, export it, but it also lets us publish the plan. And when we select publish, this dialog shows up. And it is worth saying that there does seem to be some fear around publishing a plan, maybe from the past. People express concerns that publishing a plan will change metadata in your system, that it'll break some pages, that unpublishing it will cause problems with some of your tracking. Now, there is a tiny bit of truth to those concerns around one page in Rally called Plan Progression. And our recommendation is to use capacity planning instead of that page to track the progress of your plan. And publishing and unpublishing your plan will not impact any other pages in Rally. The exception, of course, is that you can choose to have the publishing process update certain fields in your portfolio items. So if your plan is final, you can select this option to automatically update the release, the planned start date, and the planned end date in all associated portfolio items so that they match your capacity plan. If you don't want the plan to make any changes to any other data in Rally, just select Publish without updating fields. Super easy, no risk. So now my plan is published, and I can see that the state changed in the header. And notice that my gear icons went away because I can no longer edit this plan when it's in a published state. But now that it's published, non-planner members of the organization can see it and review the plan and provide feedback. Also, the capacity planning page lets you track the progress of your plan as work gets completed. But tracking only starts after the plan start date is reached and the plan is published. No tracking occurs for plans that remain in draft mode. Now, if you get feedback from your non-planners, just unpublish the plan to make any changes. And now you know how to publish and unpublish your capacity plan without fear. But the nice thing about the capacity planning page is that it's more than a planning tool. It also allows you to track the progress of your plan. So let's assume this is our final plan. We've published it, and each team has scheduled their work into iterations. And we do show you how that works in the team planning video. So now the work has begun on our release. So let's take a little trip into the future where this plan is fully in progress and at least some of the work has been completed. Now we're seeing some dark blue bars to indicate completed work as well as our roll-ups and estimates. If we look at the bar at the top, we can see that we're about halfway through the plan with 50% of the work being completed. Our current roll-up is 84% of our capacity, which is a good place to be, and our total estimates are about 91%. And while seeing the details for each feature is nice, if you want to look at the overall status for each team, it's a little easier to see if we collapse the feature details. It looks like each team is moving along nicely and showing around the same progress at the midpoint of the release. But what happens if a feature gets steered out in the middle of our release? That is, it gets removed from the plan, or a new feature gets added that wasn't originally planned. Let's say the core team removed their original network analysis feature, and replaced it with a new feature that was judged to be a higher priority. In the Projects by Total tab, we can see the new feature is highlighted in green to indicate that it was added after the plan was initially published and past its start date. If we look at the Features tab, we can see the features that were added and the features that were removed. And it looks like we forgot to remove these features that were originally considered for the plan but fell outside of the team's capacity. So let's unpublish the plan to fix that. And it doesn't matter whether we move the feature to the next release, the Q1 release, or just remove it completely from the plan. Both of those features are highlighted as removed. And now we can republish the plan so our non-planners can see the changes. So that's most of the tracking functionality that's available in the Projects and Features tab, but now let's look at the Progress tab. And this tab has several widgets that provide information about the progress of your plan. The Features and Plan Over Time chart shows the number of assigned features, unassigned features, and total features over time. And the movement in the chart lets you quickly see the changes. Unfortunately, for the sake of this demo, all of our changes were made today to show you how the other tabs would appear. So let's look at another more reasonable chart for a different group of teams. And here you can see that there were some features added over time, and you can hover over a particular day in the chart to see the specific numbers for that day. The Assigned Features by Implied State chart shows you the number of features that were not started, and complete over the history of your plan. Again, you can hover over any day in the chart. And the last chart shows the number of features that were added, the number removed, and the net difference from the beginning of your plan. Here we added 4, we removed 1, for a net difference of 3. In addition to the Progress tab, the Revision tab provides a change log that tracks each change to your plan, when it was made, and who made it. So now you know how to publish and unpublish your plan, and you know how to track the progress of your plan as it moves from its start date to its end date. To learn more about Rally and Agile practices, check out our blog and community. Like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you'll never miss new content as it's added.